All right, is this on? Yes, we're on. What's up, my people? Long time no here. I know it is I, your favorite Papa from the backwoods, your favorite backwoods bro, over here doing a video, getting back in the swing of things. So, hello to my YouTube people, hello to my Facebook people, hello to all my people. Giving big lugs and hugs. It is Sunday night. By the time y'all get this, it'll probably be Monday morning. But if you or any of my night owls want to see, I'm here for you. It's Sunday night, and I just finished doing something that I want to get into a weekly habit of doing as I get back in the swing of things with y'all and working with y'all. For those that don't know, I like to, yeah, it looks like there's a little storm rolling in. I do divinations, and I used to do cards, and I used to do Lenormand, and a lot of other like cartomancy based divination. And little by little, as I was going through the different types of divination done in my family that I wanted to reclaim. Like I say, I'm always reclaiming roots. I want y'all to reclaim your roots. I want you to have y'all's familial alignments, spiritual alignments together, and look in your own history and see what's going on. In my history, a lot of my family used to divine with dominoes. They used to divine with dice. Remember, I know a lot of you that have been with the channel for a bit, and thank you for sticking around. Thank you for being here still. And for those that are new, welcome aboard. Um, I had been divining and practicing my divination with dominoes, and I still do dominoes, love them to pieces. But little by little, I started doing more divination with dice, and then the dice went to their own form and evolved into a system that I have now that I teach too. Because yes, you know, I'm still teaching classes through myself and through Big Liz Conjure. Take a look at and give them some love, my sister Chow. Um, I do divinations with dice, and the dice eventually became dice and shells, and dice and stone, and dice and what have you, until finally they became what I like to call my knucks, because they were known as the knuckle bones. So, and because knuckle bones were turned into dice back in the days, I do a whole, like I said, I do a whole class on this in the history, lore, legend, and how to do it. So, little by little, it became its own little entity, and now this is the divination that I use, and it has proven to be scarily accurate as well as kind of reedy, but you know how it is. If you're gonna read, be prepared to get read yourself. Because remember what your mom used to tell you? Every finger you point, you got three pointing right back at you. Same thing. So, with this in mind, I was on Facebook. I was doing the weekly reading, and I would type it up, and I would have everything typed and everything together. But I thought, what would be better if not to spend some time, and let's have some time together talking about these beautiful astragals, these beautiful nooks, and the images that come. I'm going to try and put an image in the comments below of what came out. That way you can see what I'm doing. And every week so far, they've been on point. Now, I've been off and on about it because it's been a little bit, y'all, this summer has been, hasn't it? With all of the planetary influences going on, all the retrograde planets, including the Mercury retrograde we are still in, and Monday is going to be a super full blue moon in Aquarius that's going to be telling you, hey, what are you doing? What are you planning? Is this something you want to do? Let's expand. Let's be great. And it's also one that makes us reevaluate too, because we're in the re's. The retrogrades are all about reevaluating, rethinking, redoing, refocusing. And a lot of people are like, oh, Mercury. I'm like, look, planets retrograding just means it's time for you to redirect and rethink on what you need to do for yourself, what's going on, and take a breath and do an inventory, let's say. So that in mind, any other planet that retrogrades is the same. Now, this is simple astrology, and though I do got my chops, I defer mostly to actual astrologers that are professional astrologers. I don't do astrology professionally, but I understand it and I see it, and I try and like bust it down for the layperson. And in that case, wherever that planet is in your houses or in what sign it's in, will tell you as well what effect that retrograde is going to have on you depending on your personal chart. So I highly recommend you get a personal chart done, astrology chart done. There are many, and there's like free places you can get them, but also I highly recommend Mambo Josie Smith, who is one of my amazing friends, who's just an amazing astrologer. Xavier Fry, who's an amazing astrologer. There's a couple others. I'm going to try and put their names in the comments as well for you to get to for astrology readings and to find out how to, break it down. Also, I'm trying to get my brother, Yasser, or Yasin, to do astrology too. Brian is an amazing astrologer, but he doesn't give himself credit. But that's another tea for another time. Love you, Toots. So that said, with all of these things going on this summer, it's been really, really hard to try and like put things together. But we are being challenged. We are being challenged right now in this epoch with these planetary influences and the spiritual energy around to get rid of what doesn't serve us, to get rid of what isn't here for us, to get aligned with what is working. And we're getting shaken up in all our aspects in all our lives, the spiritual aspect, your professional aspect, your personal aspects. They're all being, y'all looking at them, scrutinizing them, going, is this really me? Is this really what I want? Which brings me to the reading of the week. Now, generally overall, it's about numbers, and it's about interpreting the numerology behind it, as well as interpreting the spiritual forces at play there too. So let me get my trusty dusty notes, because I actually took notes this time, y'all. Y'all that have been with me for a while know that me and notes are kind of like, but I do take them. I do. So overall, our numbers start with the overall number of 9. Like I said, 9. With 9, we always look at the change. We are looking at change. We are looking at that cyclical energy of destruction to creation, that cyclical energy that brings us out of the dark, like Gloria Stefan, y'all. It brings us out of the confusion, out of these cycles that are rough, that are making us rethink things. Change by any means necessary. It's coming breaking down things, breaking down the old energy, breaking down the old circles, the old rotes, all these old things that we're doing that have been keeping us down, and also systems as well. And if you've noticed, for quite some time this has been happening. There's been the breaking down of all of these economic systems, these things that have been in play for so long that are finally getting broken down, and we're being challenged to make new. This is on a personal and global level, so we're looking at both of these going, oh my gosh, what do we do? And when we look at, because I'm looking at my notes, because I took notes, y'all. It is completion. This energy of the number 9 represents completion, but not finality. What does that mean? We are completing things, and we're being challenged this week to finish what we start, complete what we're doing, make sure everything is done. Let us finish completing things. So all of those things you've been having on the back burner, all of those things that have been coming up now and have been like popping up, like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. Simply hit it head on. Complete those things and make it work for you. Make it start doing things for you. Make it start, whatever you don't need, then stop it. Because if it's taking up space, then it's taking up too much space. This is the energy of transition, transformation, and empowering yourself with the wisdom of these cycles. Because we're not just getting beat up and beat down and thrown out and, oh my God, all these problems. No, we're actually challenged to sit back and say, okay, look, this is confusion, this is chaos. What can I learn from this? What am I learning from these upheavals? What am I seeing right now? The old thing of saying, being, getting ready to stay ready so that you don't have to get ready again kind of energy. It's challenging you. What are you doing for you? What are you doing for yourself, and bringing that energy to pass? So, with this, I'm looking at my notes, y'all. Don't you hate it when the props don't work? It's telling us at 9 to get those energies together, get your stuff in gear, put yourself together, because this cycle is ending, but there's another cycle beginning right behind it. This is the destruction to the creation. This is the pass through. This is the final shedding of those layers, the final shedding of these things. You're still going to be doing shadow work, of course, because that happens all the time through our lives. We keep doing it, but this is the now major lift up, and I've been telling people this for a bit. There is a lift up coming. Keep your eyes open. It is the reversal of fortune kind of energy, in the good way rather than in the whole, well, holy hell, what new fresh hell is coming at us today. And also, during this, while we're looking at all of these energy fluxes going on as we go through them, and we're also having the help from our spiritual sources, because 9 is what? 9 has always been the number of women, the number of the dead, the number of the ancestors. So now is the time to really, really dig deep through our ancestral knowledge and speak to our ancestors that are helping us to find the guidance that we're looking for to keep on the road. Listen to that gut, listen to that head, the head. Not just the voices that you think are just you being a little bit perhaps mentally unstable. You're not unstable, babe. Though I always say I'm not a professional. I want you to get therapy. I want you to deal with your stuff. It's good to talk to people. Therapy is not a bad thing. Let's not have a stigma of it. But going with your intuition, going with your gut, and knowing you have that connection to ancestor helps us. That spiritual connection helps us. Another thing, with all of these changes coming through, with all of these things that are happening, with all of this positivity and goodness at the horizon as we fight through and start completing, finishing, and doing to the goal, there are things that are coming up, like, strangely enough, there's good luck here in matters of the heart. There's success here. Reconciliations and rekindlings and forgiveness. Now, of course, this is the time of retrograde, so all the X's are coming out. And some of them, do not put your hand back in the meat grinder if that's what it was when you picked it up. Do not continue to redo the silliness, but if there's a way to reconcile, if there's a way to make peace with things and either move into something better or move on to your own, follow the way of peace and the way of healing and nurturing. Because 9 is a healing number. It isn't just upheaval and change and cyclical endings. No, it also brings the peace of knowing that once this is done, then I know I got it. I have this. This is done. I can move on. And there's a bit of a win in that. And speaking of which, 9 also has a sidebar to it, which is gambling wins. So if you're feeling lucky and you have something to gamble on, now's a good time to try and do it. And I don't mean that in the way of, because I have to cover myself. I don't want to be demonetized or I'm not demonetized. Who am I kidding? But I want to make sure that everybody understands that we're not talking in the gambling sense of being addicted to it, but if you feel like getting a lottery ticket, now's the time. You want to do a scratch off, now's the time. You're looking at some stocks and bonds, a penny here, a penny there, and you have a little extra, take your time and run with it, because it's a good luck augury of dividends come through. So knock yourself out and enjoy that feeling of, yes, this is cool. So with that 9, with that energy, we are allowing ourselves the ability to continue to go through the cycles. It's coming with the energy of, because on the other side we also read a little bit of the geomantic glyph, the geomancy thrown in for fun. Puella is the female energy. Now 9 is a feminine number. 9 has a powerful woman spirit energy. And Puella comes here speaking of positive feminine energy. It's not lucky per se, but there is luck here, but it is a positive energy of nurturing and growth. We start making our energy start working. We start working with that intuition. We start working with that knowledge. We start working with the energy that says, hey, this can happen, using softness and understanding and stepping back from being too quick with our words, being too overly quick with our actions. Step back and look at things for a minute. Get the feel of things. Go with your head, but also listen to what your soul has to say, and then go with both of those, yeah? And that's just good sense. But here also, my loves, we are looking at an energy that tells us to what? We are having a moment of enthusiasm. This is going to be an enthusiastic week. An overwhelmingly impressive and joyous event is probably happening this week. And with all of these transits that are happening, this reading that I got kind of builds up on that, because it's telling you, okay, look, things are about to happen that are going to be momentous, happy, joyous, and uplifting. Is there going to be a call that says, hey, you got that job? This is the week that can come through. Is there going to be a thing where, like, yay, lucky you got this, and this? Are you able to, like, surprise events that you were waiting on are coming through, but not in the way you necessarily expected it, but in a way that brings momentous occasions and expansion. They're saying now's not the time for overzealousness. No, learn the difference between your determination and being overzealous. Be motivated and let it work for you. But again, slow your roll. Take your path slowly. Learn the difference and walk the path strong. And if you're feeling bad, If you're feeling like, oh, I'm not enough, look at the people that are around you, your peers that inspire you. Look to your inspirations to keep you inspired. Look to those people that can help you out. Again, when I talked about therapy, talk to anybody that has an open ear that can help you. Now is the time for that, to be like, reach out to those that have always been there, and continue to heal by being open and letting healing come to you. Another thing is my notes, y'all. Rise above your mundane problems. And a lot of meditation. This is going to be a week in a nutshell where you're just going to sit back and you're not going to get in conflicts. You're not going to be crazy. You're not going to jump around. You're not going to be like, oh, yo, because right now it, the energy is to be explosive. The energy is to lash out. But in this case, we need to just calmly assess things and breathe through it. Your breath is your friend. And 9 also speaks of breathing. So breathe through your problems. Everything is there are sacred things around you. Even if you don't understand them, understand that they're there. You don't have to, be an adherent. You don't have to be a magical maestro of, You just have to understand that there are things here that help us, and connect to them, whether it's connecting with deity, connecting with ancestors, connecting with spirit, connecting with yourself and your higher self. Connect with those energies, meditate with those energies, and get back to just taking a quick breath before you go forward. You have to finalize things. You got to finish what you start. You got to finish all those projects that you've kept on the back burner. Now is the time to start going through and getting rid of things that you don't need and you don't want, that are taking up space and that you're keeping for no other reason than you got to keep them. Now is the time to start doing that, but in a very holistic way of working wholly with your intelligence and your analytical mind, as well as your intuition. There has to be balance there. Which brings me to twos. Twos came out a lot in this reading. And twos is telling us to be balanced, to balance things out, to have those energies keep you on an equilibrium. Here, especially when it comes to loved ones and close friends, the key word is entering that lucky period of good news and happiness. Okay, cool, things are great. Broaden those horizons, read up, deal with those partnerships, and balance out that female and male energy, the yin yang energy within. Balance those things out and enjoy those energies, and deepen your relationships. If you're in a relationship right now, deepen a little further, do more talking, get together. Or if everything's hunky-dory and cool, go on a trip, go do something together where you have that little bit of extraness that gives you that solidity, because this week you're going to need to fall back either on your partner or on your friends or people that you can trust. And if not that, then your own spiritual force, because you're never alone in this world. You're never alone. There is love around you, and that's another part of the cycle, to understand and accept that there is love around you. You do have love within you, and there is divine source that you connect to. That's the best thing too. Again, 9 culminates. 9 is the end to the beginning. 9 is the cycle. These twos that came up, because throwing dice, you get different numbers. Twos came up a lot because we had 2 on your wild eye, which is the wild dice that tells us what's in the air, what's going on. And also in water, in one of the blue dice in front, which tells us that this is going to be a very emotional as well moment of emotional happiness, receiving love, giving love, receiving the messages from intuition, receiving what the spirit has to tell you, and working with it to your best advantage. In air and in earth, 2 of the other dice that got rolled, we have 3, which is a number of conflict, which is the number dealing with moving the old stuff out, breaking up old cycles. So again, 3 and its derivative 9 are working in tandem to break up all of those old cycles when it comes to communication, and when it comes to our finances, when it comes to our earth, which is finances, body, resources, home, the solidity of things. And with air, it's communication, intelligence, how we think, how we process. So we're being challenged to bring new ideas and new concepts to bring the successes that we want. And we're going to be challenged to roll with the punches on it too. If this doesn't work and it hasn't worked, then you know what? Why are you still doing it? Failure isn't necessarily doing something and failing at it. Sometimes it's continually doing something that yields no result. So change the idea, change the pattern, change the perspective, and that's when things will start moving a little better for you. And also communicating with the right people. Now's a great time to schmooze. Now's a great time to talk and see what's up. Let's put your ear to the ground and start working and interacting and commingling to go where you need to go. That last element that's here that we haven't touched on is in fire. Fire has a one in it. One is the beginning. That is it. But it's also in fire. It's in the projective form. So it's saying do the things and get the work done. There can be no more procrastination. Literally, it's pushing nine forward, saying get rid of what doesn't work. It's time to move. Like that Erica Badu song says, "Bag lady, you gon' hurt your bag, dragging all them bags like they." So, no time for baggage. It's time to say finally, okay, you know what? It's time to finalize. It's time to complete and get to the finalization process. Doing the things that we need to do. Doing the things you know you need to do. Because it's things that we've put in the back burner and things that we're just not going to deal with right now because there's so many other things to deal with. Nope. This week we're going to be told deal with what you need to deal with, breathe up. August has to be the month that you clean up, clear out, and finish and keep everything together. Because as this week progresses, we are moving forward into those energies that are changing. We are in that, what do you got? Start bringing your stores up. Start making things happen. Health-wise also, look to a lot of changes when it comes to your mental health. Taking more time for you, taking time to heal for you, and looking at health in general differently. Because money you can get, health and time is harder to get back, and time you can't get back, period. So now is the time to really think about what values there are, what needs to stop being devalued. Your time needs to be valued, your space needs to be valued, your presence needs to be valued, and you need to be valued. You need to value that for yourself as well, and value your health. If it's not bringing you peace, peace over proximity, bye, I can't deal with that. If it's not bringing you goodness, gotta go. So this is where you have preservation, but you're still being social, because there is a way to do this. It's called, I'm gonna respect you, you're gonna respect me, and if I don't get respect at this table, I'll just walk. There's no tea, no shade, no lemonade, and I'm not gonna take anything personally, because most things are projections anyway. And it is these things, are these concepts that are finally being absorbed this week for the positive goal, for the positive good, where we have that beneficial energy going. Again, this sign isn't about necessarily, jackpots, but it's about, hey, a good energy is coming through. It's good, so work with it. A little bit of luck here, a little bit of luck there works to our advantage, but it's the quiet luck, not the like blast out into the air luck. It's the, then there's a $2 bill on the floor. That's interesting. And you pick it up and keep going. It's not, here's $5,000, but that $2 bill might lead to something else. So it is culmination as well. And that's why I need everybody to keep their eyes open, keep their ears open, and look before you leap, think before you speak, my loves. That too, that wild eye too is telling us sometimes the union we're looking for is the union of yourself and your higher self. Get to unionizing in every aspect of those words. You heard me. So, that said, let us look. 3 shells came up, and 3 shells speak about the road opening spirits. The spirits of the road and the spirits that are like the lights in the trees. So with that said, now is the time to tend to our ancestors, tend to our spiritual cord, and tend to the road. If you happen to have Lucero, if you happen to have Elegua, if you happen to work with road opening deities or deities of obstacle removal, like Ganesh, spirits like, or saints like the Saint Anthony, El Niño de Atocha, the Holy Child of Antioch, Saint Martin, and Saint Peter. Those of y'all that work with those spirits, now's the time to work with them also. Based on these prognostications and being 9, now's a good week to work for those that are working with Saint Martha, Izzy La Flambeau, in New Orleans work. Now's a good time to work with that lady. St. Martha with the torch, not St. Martha of the snakes. There's a difference. And if you'd like to know more, talk to me, email me, send me messages. And that is the overall view. If you want to have a more busted down busted down version of this reading, get with me and we'll talk. If you have any questions, please let me know. Oh, one last thing. Here, because those 3 shows up speak of moving things and shaking things, now's a good time to do cleansings to open your road. orange candles for removal of obstacles, and also a little orange to help get the procrastinations away. Orange to keep us in control of moving and shaking. So if you can't do orange candles, a plain white candle will do. And if you would like any products that are oils, salts, powders, um, soaps, herbal dressings, please feel free to get with me. You know, I do run Casa de Juju, which is a place where I peddle my lovely crafts of oils and apothecaria, as well as jewelries and other beautiful things. So please get in contact with me. Let me know what's up. I also do personalized readings, divinations that we do for people, as well as mentorships, which are like kind of private classes that we can sit down and talk about whatever you want to talk about, get in depth, and make sure you're doing them, or have an actual mentorship where we sit down and start doing things over a period of time, like a curriculum. And that's among other spiritual services that are offered. So if you have questions, please get with me. If you want to learn more, please get with me. If you'd like to go in depth with this or any other reading, please get with me. Again, I'll try and put some links in the comments below. Please take a look at them. Also, I will be teaching a fabulous class, which again, I'll put a link in the comments, called Canna Juju, where we learn how to incorporate cannabis, weed, into our practices, spiritual practices, because it has always been a sacred sacrament and an herb of spirituality. So there is a movement going on now. Well, not a movement, it's always been there, but there's now people actually realizing that we can use this in our spiritual practices, and or work with this herb, the spirit of this herb as well, for our spiritual practices, for enlightenment, for health, and for so many other things. So I'll be teaching that class this Wednesday, at 8 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time, 7 Central. And yeah, I'll put the information below. So again, I want y'all to have an spectacular Sunday, an absolutely wonderful week with many blessings. I'm going to check in for a Monday sesh. And I'm going to try and put my face right here on YouTube for all of y'all, and throughout Facebook and throughout everything else. So that said, y'all, again, many blessings, peace, love, and juju, and take care of yourselves and each other, like Jerry Springer used to say. And I think we do need to start taking care of ourselves and each other. And with that, thank you, and have a wonderful evening, morning, week, and all that. Toodles, y'all. Peace.